Okay, so for our project, we looked at the difference between the popular press perspective and the scientific perspective on GMOs and whether or not they are safe. In our presentation, we'll discuss different things such as what is GMO, how does the popular press view GMOs, how does the scientific community view GMOs, and if there are any common viewpoints between the popular press and the scientific community. I seem to find that that's where the most disagreements happen. What is a GMO? A GMO, a genetically modified organism, is a plant, animal, microorganism, or other organisms whose genetic makeup has been altered in some way. Most GMOs are created in a laboratory using genetic engineering to convey some benefit to the organism, such as pesticide resistance or resistance to chemicals. On that note, there was a commercial that I saw coincidentally a couple days ago about they were studying if, I guess, Dole made pink pineapples, and they were trying to figure out if those were actually safe to eat or not. But I guess one of the benefits to them that the way they made those pineapples is that they're sweeter to humans. But these benefits help to make the organism stronger as well as benefit us humans in some manner. And it's funny how, for some, this is such an important concept that it even transfers to animals. There's a horse feed called Renew Gold that one of their biggest stances is that they're non-GMO, and because they claim that humans are good at messing things up, and they weren't sure if GMOs were one of those things. And so for the population that find non-GMO to be very important, that feed was there for them.
All of the popular press articles used here portray GMOs in the same way. They believe that while scientists and health officials are all saying that GMOs are safe for people and livestock to consume, the long-term effects of this are unknown. These articles point out that GMOs are relatively new to the public market, and this means that they should not be readily trusted by consumers. They also question the environmental safety of GMOs. They believe they can have a negative impact on certain organisms around them. Their disease resistance also concerns the press, as that allows for variants of common plant diseases to become more common and potentially a bigger problem than the original disease.
Scientific perspective. The scientific peer-reviewed articles used here all had the same general perspective. They believed that GMOs are better for animal health and welfare as they improve their diets. They also have a positive impact on the environment since they are easier to maintain and care for. Illustrated on the right are some of the different functions that genetically modified crops provide, including herbicide tolerance, insect tolerance, drought tolerance, and disease resistance. GMOs are also good for the economies of the places they are being used in. These locations spend less time working, so they are able to make more of a profit. Lastly, the articles all agreed that GMO consumption does not impact human health whether they are consumed directly as a plant or indirectly from an animal that was fed on genetically modified crops.
Alright, so in conclusion, we can see that for popular press, there's a more negative view on GMOs, with a lot to do with the fact that there are so many unknowns still, and that a lot more research has to be done. As for the scientific community, there is a much more positive view, with many believing that GMOs are a safe and better option, as there are numerous benefits for everyone involved. Overall, GMOs are still relatively new, and it will be interesting to see what new research and improvements can be made. As for the works we cited, we took many articles from both the popular press and the scientific perspective in order to get a better understanding of the world's viewpoint on GMOs. Some articles we used for the scientific perspective came from science journals, like the Journal of Animal Science and Biotechnology and the Oxford Research Encyclopedia. And as for popular press, we use articles from sites like the Forbes magazine and the Daily Item. Our citations are also continued on the next slide. Thanks and gig 'em!